Welcome to the smart world around us, organized by Smart-EDU Hub. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a really interesting article called Improving Municipal Responsiveness Through AI-Powered Image Analysis in E-Government.
It's authored by Catalin Vrabie. He's at the National University of Political Studies and Public Administration in Bucharest, Romania.
That's right. And just so you know, you can find a link to the full article down in the description below. So let's set the scene a bit. Cities. They face this constant stream of issues reported by citizens, right?
Absolutely. And more, that information isn't just text. It's pictures, visual stuff.
Exactly. And managing that, figuring out what's important, where it is, that's a huge challenge. This research looks at, well, a smarter way using AI. Okay, so let's unpack this. What's the core problem this research is really trying to solve?
Well, it starts with how e-government itself has changed. We've kind of moved past just basic websites. We're into what the paper calls e-government 3.0. Think AI, IoT, predictive services. It's about being proactive, not just reactive.
Right, so not just putting forms online anymore.
Not at all. And a big part of this evolution is citizens using apps, sending photos of problems they see. A cracked sidewalk, maybe illegal parking, trash.
That makes sense. A picture tells 1,000 words, as they say. So how does machine learning actually help process all these images?
Yeah, this is where it gets really cool. The study uses machine learning specifically for image analysis.
Oh.
It's not just looking at the text someone writes. It uses things like image classification.
Okay, so that tells you what the problem is. Like, this is a pothole.
Exactly. And also object detection, which can pinpoint where in the image the problem is, or maybe identify a specific dumped item, for instance. It's a much richer understanding than just text alone.
So you get pothole located in the top right corner of the image on Main Street. That kind of detail.
Precisely, which allows for a much faster and more targeted response from the city.
Okay, that sounds great in theory. But how did it actually perform, in a real-world test?
Yeah.
The article mentions a case study, right?
Yeah. It does, yeah. A really practical one from a Romanian municipality that's apparently quite forward-thinking with tech. They used actual anonymized data. Over 5,700 images sent in by citizens.
Wow, that's a lot of images.
It is, and almost 13,000 text entries, too. They looked at what people were reporting. Turns out, infrastructure damage, think potholes, broken benches, that was the biggest chunk, about 45%.
Well, what else?
Waste disposal issues were next, around 30%. And then the rest, about 25%, was things like illegal parking or just miscellaneous stuff.
Got it. So the AI system was trained on this data. What were the results? How well did it actually work?
The results were pretty staggering, honestly. First off, accuracy. On the test data, the system correctly classified the type of problem 92.8% of the time.
92.8%. That's very accurate.
It really is. But maybe even more impressive was the efficiency gain. The entire process, analyzing the image, generating the report, even getting communication ready for the citizen, took less than 7 seconds per case.
Less than 7 seconds. Compared to what?
Compared to the average manual processing time, which was around 8 minutes.
8 minutes down to under 7 seconds? That's incredible.
It's a 98.5% reduction in time. Think about that workload difference for city staff.
Unbelievable. Almost instantaneous. And what about the tech needed? Did they need supercomputers?
That's another key point. No, they ran all this on a standard high-end laptop, a Dell XPS 95 Dena. It could process up to 500 cases an hour. So the hardware is accessible. It's not some exotic setup.
Okay, so this feels really practical then. High accuracy, massive speed increase, standard hardware. What does this actually mean for us, as residents in a city, and for the city governments themselves?
Well, the potential benefits are huge. For citizens, it means faster responses, feeling like your reports actually lead to action quickly. That enhances participation.
Yeah, you'd feel more inclined to report things if you knew it wasn't just going into a void.
Exactly. And for the city, it means much faster service delivery. Plus, because the initial sorting and response can be automated and impartial, it can increase transparency and trust.
Right, take some of the potential bias or delay out of the equation. It seems like a really scalable way to handle the growing number of reports cities get.
Definitely. It supports a more robust system as cities grow and demands increase.
Of course, no system is perfect. Did the study mention any limitations or challenges?
Oh, absolutely. It's presented as a proof of concept, and they're realistic about hurdles. Things like dealing with blurry photos or pictures taken at night. Poor image quality is a challenge.
Sure, people send all sorts of pictures from their phones.
Right. Also, ensuring the AI model works well in different cities with different types of buildings, street furniture, local issues. That's called generalization.
Making sure it's not just trained for one specific place.
Exactly. And crucially, how you design the automated messages back to citizens. You don't want it to sound robotic or impersonal, or worse, give wrong information. That needs careful crafting.
That human touch, even in an automated system, is still important.
Very much so. But these are known challenges in AI implementation. The study really paves the way, showing what's possible.
It certainly does. The potential for AI like this to really transform how our cities operate and respond to us is it's massive. A much smarter, more reactive urban environment.
It really is, and it leaves us with a fascinating thought, doesn't it? Beyond just making things faster. How can this kind of AI-driven image analysis truly empower citizens? Not just as reporters, but as active partners in co-creating and monitoring their own neighborhoods. How do we ensure their visual input directly shapes a public administration that's not only responsive, but also truly equitable?
That's a powerful question to think about. How do we move from just efficiency to genuine co-creation? Thank you for that insight, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. If you found this interesting, please do like and subscribe to the Smart-EDU Hub channel. That way you'll be the first to know when we release new explorations like this one. And just one last reminder, the link to the full article by Kedal and Vryby is waiting for you in the podcast description below. Goodbye.